Let's begin with the top focus of the India Today expose, Rajya Sabha Bazaar. It's a shocker from Congress's senior face, Digvijaya Singh. After India Today's sting caught MLAs offering cash for vote for seats in the Rajya Sabha, Digvijaya Singh has said that there is no need for the elections for the Rajya Sabha poll scheduled for the 11th of this month to be countermanded. This despite the sting catching JDS legislator Mallikarjun Khuba demanding 5 crores to vote for the Congress candidate. While Digvijaya Singh has maintained that Congress leaders were not involved, the party still sent 14 of its MLAs to Mumbai to ensure that the JDS does not indulge in horse trading.
We have met Honorable Central Election Commission regarding the said sting operation in Karnataka Rajya Sabha elections. We have requested the Central Election Commission to allow the election to go on because there is no evidence which led to the countermanding of the Rajya Sabha elections in Jharkhand, where cash was recovered from the vehicle of the contesting Rajya Sabha election in Jharkhand.
See, the Election Commission is bound to ensure that the elections are conducted in absolutely free, fair manner.
Yes.
And we are also bound to ensure that no bribery is allowed, no inducement is allowed, or any thought of bribery also allowed. So here, in the case of Karnataka, it is very absolutely clear from whatever you have shown and what other channels have shown that there is the intention. The mens rea is very clear of giving money and receiving money.
Yes.
Not in 100 rupees or 200 rupees, but in crores and crores.
Absolutely.
So I think this is a sufficient reason on the part, the sufficient reason for the Election Commission to defer the election or postpone the election, etc. Because if we allow this election to continue, the Rajya Sabha election, I think it will be unfortunate for our country.
Okay, so there was also the former Chief Election Commissioner H.S. Brahma. They are saying that the sting has exposed sufficient reason for the elections to be deferred. But clearly, Digvijaya Singh of the Congress doesn't believe so. Let me get in a word from Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao of the BJP, who's joining us on the phone line right now. Mr. Narasimha Rao, what does your party have to say on this entire expose? Do you believe that elections should be countermanded?
I think the manner in which both the Congress party and JDS have been, their MLAs have been indulging in disgraceful conduct is a blot on our democracy. The Congress party is now quite open and shameful about its conduct, and it wants elections to continue so that its candidate can pull his way through. And the Congress party is indulging in corrupt malpractices to have its candidate elected.
Are you saying that the BJP does not want the elections to take place now? Do you think that the elections should be countermanded?
The Election Commission of India is vested with all the powers to take appropriate decisions to ensure free and fair polls.
Mr. Narasimha Rao, you're skirting my question. I'm asking you a direct question, sir. You're criticizing the Congress's stand. What about the BJP stand? Do you think the election should take place or not take place?
We are very clear. I will not give you a judgment. I'm not here to pass judgment. I think this conduct of Congress party and the unethical means being employed by them are reprehensible. And
so you are passing a judgment on Congress's conduct, but you're refusing to take a stand here. If you think that this was unethical behavior by Congress and JDS, which means that things are wrong and that the election should not take place, why can't you take a stand on that, sir?
I think the conduct of these parties and the open auction of MLAs is highly reprehensible, and the strictest possible action needs to be taken, including some kind of a criminal action against MLAs indulging in corrupt behavior. Election Commission of India, as the watch body, as the superintending authority of elections, has the duty and also responsibility to ensure polls are free and fair, and no party indulges in such malpractices.
Mr. Rao,
with
then under the
impunity.
given circumstances, if you are saying that there were corrupt practices that were being indulged in as far as the Congress JDS legislators are concerned, and that a criminal case should be made here, are you confident if elections were to take place as per schedule? It will be a good idea, it will be a fair poll.
We are, as far as our party is concerned, we have sufficient numbers to have our member elected. And but we see the deterioration in the entire political environment and the corrupt practices being followed by parties. We have total confidence in the Election Commission of India. We think as a responsible body, they will act, they will do everything possible to ensure such unethical conduct goes unchecked.
Okay, so you're calling it unethical, you're calling these corrupt practices, but in categorical terms, you're not saying that the election should be countermanded, Mr. Rao there.
I'm not the election commissioner. For
from your party's point of view also, you're not willing to take a stand.
I made my point more than abundantly clear. We think such corrupt behavior of the Congress needs to be checked. And whatever needs to be done and whatever is within the mandate of the Election Commission, they must do everything, and we will support wholeheartedly any decision taken by the Election Commission.
Okay, Mr. GBL Narasimha Rao there of the BJP preferring to, of course, pass the ball as far into the Election Commission's court there, saying that it is the EC's call to take as to whether the election should take place as per schedule or not, and calling these practices corrupt and unethical. It's a big India Today impact story. The Karnataka Chief Election Officer will submit his report on Rajya Sabha Bazaar to Election Commission in Delhi today. Meanwhile, the Election Commission is gearing up to write to the government to be granted powers to countermand elections whenever there is adequate proof of money power being used to influence elections. Remember, on Thursday, India Today aired a special report which exposed how MLAs in Karnataka asked for 5 to 10 crores of rupees to vote in favor of candidates who are contesting elections for the upper house on 11th of this month. Reacting to the expose, the poll watchdog had asked for the unedited footage of the sting operation while also convening an emergency meet. The India Today sting had exposed Parliament's worst kept secret and had set the stage for a relook at the Rajya Sabha elections.
We referred the matter to the Law Commission of India. They have already given 2 reports. The 2 Law Commission reports, as far as electoral reforms are concerned, that are those are before us. We have already formed a small committee to look into the matter. As soon as the committee gives the report to us, we are going to have some amendments to the Representation of People's Act, and we want to bring some stringent rules as far as electoral reforms are concerned.
So what's your reaction to the Rajya Sabha seat bazaar, sir? There's been a need to countermand the elections. They are saying that they will cancel the elections.
Who told you?
The Election Commission has asked for a report. Based on the report, they are saying that they will
I don't know. It is for the Election Commission to take a decision, but we have given a memorandum from our party not to postpone the election.
Right. So, but what is your take? Do you feel that there's some horse trading that's happening? Because
From our side, there is no horse trading. We are not going to induce any legislator. It is for them to vote.
So, but the JDS is blaming you, saying that it's a conspiracy that has been laid by the Congress.
JDS is desperate. Desperately, they are making this type of statement.
Right.
Because they came to know that they are going to be defeated. That's why they are making this type of statement.
They're also saying that there are 14 MLAs who have been sent to Mumbai.
I do not know.
Congress MLAs.
I do not know.
Thank you so much.
So the Congress there, of course, are giving in that memorandum to the Election Commission, saying that there is no need for these elections to be either countermanded, to be deferred. BJP not taking a categorical stand, only, of course, blaming the Congress and the JDS for what it calls is unethical conduct and corruption. But clearly, we were speaking to H.S. Brahma, the former Chief Election Commissioner. He, in more than clear terms, said that at least the intention is exposed here through the sting operation, and that is ground enough for the Election Commission to take a call for deferment of these elections. But what was perhaps more shocking was the JDS Chief and former Prime Minister H.D. Devegowda's reaction that had come in after this sting operation, where he seemed to suggest that the national media thinks that it can clean up the act of politics, but it is not going to be so, and there was nothing wrong in fact, and that corruption actually stemmed in right from the top. Let me get in a word from Executive Editor Javed Ansari on the story. Javed, as far as the BJP is concerned, they are saying we have sufficient numbers, let the Election Commission take a call and maybe the election should go ahead. What is the Congress's calculation here on the premise of which they are saying that it should not be countermanded?
Look, the Congress party believes that it just needs very small amount of MLAs to vote for it because it has the numbers. It has about 37 plus. That's what Congress leaders would have us believe. All they need is just a handful of more MLAs to vote for them, and their third candidate, Mr. Ramamurthy, will be home and dry. The BJP has adopted the high moral ground on this, saying that no, you can even either have the elections or countermand it. I'd be very interested in knowing if the BJP will take a similar position in states like, say, UP, where they put up a candidate who, the BJP just doesn't have the numbers, but they put up an extra candidate with perhaps the hope of getting unattached MLAs from other sides to vote for it, because on its own the BJP cannot ensure Preeti Mahapatra's victory by any stretch of imagination.
Briefly also, Javed, what are you learning from the sources in Election Commission? By when are we expecting a final call on the decision to countermand elections?
Not before too long. The Election Commission is seized with the matter. The three ECs have met. They are pondering over it. They're looking at the legal angle as well, and a decision should come before even the course of the day is out. But we'll have to wait and see when they formally announce that decision.
Okay, so it's just a matter of a couple of hours, maybe, as Javed is suggesting, that we'll get to know as to what does the Election Commission want to do as far as those polls for the Rajya Sabha seats of Karnataka are concerned. Many thanks, Javed Ansari, for getting us that perspective. So we'll continue to follow up with all those political reactions coming into that big India Today expose. It's time for a quick break.